Listen up, webmasters. Do you have the domain from GoDaddy but still don't have the design to go with it? If you want a great design to go with your great website, head over to Xaler Studios. Quality, professional graphic and web design. Need to fix up an existing design? No problem. Xaler can do it all. Head over to their site at XalerStudios.com. XALER Studios.com. All websites get a 15% discount using the code MCMuggle. What's up, MuggleCast listeners? If you want to make an impact online, GoDaddy.com has what you need. Get your own .com domain name for as low as $1.99. Plus, world-class hosting, fast and easy website builders, and much more. Plus, as a listener of MuggleCast, enter code RON, that's R-O-N, when you check out, and get your .com domain name for just $6.95 a year. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. Get your piece of the internet at GoDaddy.com.
Because we're more entertaining than adding new friends on MySpace, this is MuggleCast episode 78 for February 24th, 2007.
They did some car crash research, okay, into the causes of car crashes, and in most of the states, the final words of the people in the car were, "Oh no," or something like that. But in Kansas, hello Ben, the final words of the people were, "Hold my beer, I'm going to try something." And so can I say, I have to thank my housemate Tom on pain of death for that joke. So thank you.
You know, I actually heard Ben say that once, but I guess that's for another time. Jamie, where have you been?
I've been all over the place. America,
the fans are not
England.
happy.
Well, I have, I'm being extremely busy. I've been all over the place. However, I come back and I see a new person has arrived. One person who I haven't done a show before with, ever. Right, Mikey?
Well, see...
Yeah, right.
You might remember that the last time you recorded was actually when you were here. And I don't know if you remember, but after that show, there was a little bit of a fallout with Ben. So we actually fired him. And this is his new replacement.
I heard it was more of a sort of punch-up, more than a fallout, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, I think he left to go watch the OC, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, the OC tonight. The big season finale's tonight.
A series finale.
That's why. Series.
Wait, series finale, isn't it? Because it's all there.
Holy crap. Serious. It's done. There's no more OC after it. I live in the OC, so I know.
So you can just open your window, Mikey, can't you?
I'm looking out the window right now. You know, I see what's going on.
You're going to go outside tomorrow morning to get the paper in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll just be a white line on the horizon. That's tomorrow afternoon.
I'm Andrew Sims.
I'm Eric Skull.
I'm Jamie Lawrence.
I'm Micah Tannenbaum.
And I'm Mikey Bouchreau.
Micah Tan, the MuggleCast anchor man, is in the studio with the past week's top Harry Potter news stories. Micah.
Thanks, Grandmaster Andrew. EA, the maker of the Harry Potter video games, has released details on the production of the upcoming Order of the Phoenix video game. WB Interactive Entertainment stated, "Working with EA, we look forward to offering fans the most authentic Harry Potter game to date, one which captures the compelling story of the fiction and high visual quality of the movie." Last week we told you about LEGO's plans for a new Hogwarts castle set to coincide with the Order of the Phoenix film release. Our friends over at MillionairePlayboy.com have now informed us that this is the only set planned to be released in 2007. This is the first time that LEGO has only created one set to go along with a Potter movie. Goblet of Fire saw 4 sets released alongside the film. Speaking of Goblet of Fire, High Definition TV News has a very positive review of the recently released Goblet of Fire High Definition DVD. The review stated the Goblet of Fire is possibly one of the best HD transfers to date, with clean, crisp pictures looking stunning and at times almost 3D-like in quality. The whole experience is an assault on the senses that will leave you demanding more of the same. New photos have surfaced from Daniel Radcliffe's appearance in Equus, also new photos from Order of the Phoenix. You can take a look at Tonks, the Young Marauders, and Snape. All of them are available over on MuggleNet.com. Michael Rydell of the New York Post recently posted his thoughts on Equus and notes that the production is already being considered for Broadway. Rydell says the London revival of Peter Shaffer's powerful drama about a teenage boy who takes off his clothes and blinds horses began previews on Friday, but has caused so much buzz that producers already are planning to bring it to Broadway in the fall. One problem, however, tends to be the length of Equus. It clocks in at nearly 3 hours, which is a bit of a slog, according to London theatre sources who sneaked in early because they couldn't wait to get a look at John Napier's stunning set. And as of late, many British tabloids have falsely reported that Warner Brothers was displeased with Daniel Radcliffe's decision to perform in the play Equus. A WB spokesperson has, in response to these claims, issued the following statement. Daniel Radcliffe is an extremely talented actor, as well as a great collaborator and friend to Warner Brothers Pictures. We've had great experiences working with him on our films and fully support in the artistic choices he makes as an actor. Finally, we're thrilled to announce that MuggleNet.com's What Will Happen in Harry Potter 7, written entirely by MuggleNet staff, has been selected as an editor's choice by the New York Times Book Review. More than 100,000 copies of the book have been printed. That's all the news for this February 24th, 2007 edition of MuggleCast. Back to the show.
All right, thank you, Micah.
You're welcome, Andrew.
Micah, we have a few things to discuss this week concerning news.
Do we?
But I wanted to point out that we do have we've been getting a lot of emails lately saying, where can I get the links to all the pictures that you guys talk about on the show? Just go to MuggleNet.com and you'll see all the past 20 stories or so. And usually we'll talk about everything on the MuggleNet main page, so you'll be able to find the links there. But Jamie, you have not been on for so long that we have not heard your thoughts on the release dates.
Oh, okay.
What do you think about it?
Well,
a mere 8 days.
I think it's extremely weird, but I was holding out for a 2008 release, so I'm kind of upset about it. I think it's just weird for a few reasons, like putting them so close together. I know people say it's going to up the hype for both of them, and it's going to be a Harry Potter summer, but it's the
summer to remember, in the words of Dylan Sparks.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it is going to be a summer to remember, but it's the sort of high before the fall. It's going to be a huge summer, and then there's going to be nothing. Whereas I think I'd rather see it spread out with it next year. And also, I've had a few emails telling me that I said that if it was released in 2007, I would have to eat 50 sausages, which I seem to remember. I actually said that if Harry died, I'd have to do that.
Well, actually, I checked in the transcripts, and you've said both.
Well, Mike is wrong when he transcribed it. Then I'm sorry, Mike.
Well,
do your job properly.
Jamie, I'm afraid you're going to have to hold up your end of the deal here and, eat 50 sausages. When do you want to do this?
Jamie, what kind of sausages did you want?
I want the huge ones, Mikey.
The Polish ones or the...
We meant to eat for the bet, Jamie.
I want the German 5-footers. No, I don't know. I'll have to do it sometime. But I was going to ask, can I just go double or nothing, and then if Harry dies, I'll eat 100, and then if he lives, I'll eat nothing? Because to be fair, if I ate 50 sausages, I'd die, and the book's coming out now, but Harry isn't going to die, so I've got a pretty safe bet there. And I should have said that, because now everyone's going to say no. But sorry?
You should have thought about this before you say these things.
Yeah, I should. I don't think...
Jamie, I got your back, yo, but you got to... Because Harry's eventually going to die, because we discussed this already, that he will die. So if he dies in the context of the Voldemort-Harry fight, correct?
Yes.
I'm just saying, man, because eventually everybody dies. So,
yeah. If he's lying in his bed and has a heart attack, then no, I'm not eating those 50 sausages.
Well, Jamie,
not a single one, yeah?
This is why you haven't been on the show, right? Once you put out the release date, you just crawled into a corner and cried yourself for hours,
I figured that was
days.
I I went to a sausage-free place for 5 weeks. So I didn't have to think of them.
How did you survive?
I don't know.
Sausage phobia.
So anyway,
Yeah.
moving along, we got a couple new Order of the Phoenix photos this week from the film. Again, more from DanLatino.com and HarryLatino.com. These guys are getting some unauthorized pictures, in the words of WB.
Some
left and
serious
right.
love.
Still don't know where they're getting them from, but anyway. We saw a picture of young Snape. You guys see this yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Maybe it's the quality of the picture, but
It looks like
he looks fake.
He looks like a Snape with just a younger face. He doesn't look like
Yeah.
a young Snape, because if you take sort of, like an older person, take their face off and put a younger face on it, they still look like the older person. Your hair doesn't just remain the same. It's just like, I think he shouldn't have long black hair. He should have like middle length hair or sort of shorter hair, just to show that he's, and
Young.
yeah, and don't get started on how bad James looks.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like
Yeah.
to change it to.
What
is
do
he,
you think of that,
blonde?
Eric? I know.
Yeah, basically.
What, bleach
It's just like-
blonde? I mean,
There's nothing to it. Young Sirius, though, I think is great. Although, again, it looks like he has the same exact hair
Yeah.
as Gary Oldman
well,
does.
yeah, very similar from the Azkaban photo. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. James
And,
just which one's Pettigrew and which one's Lupin? I guess Lupin's
Pettigrew's the right there.
I don't know if
Pettigrew's the one
Lupin's
with like
in
the
the picture.
mullet. Yeah, like is that that's James, not Lupin, next to Sirius, right? Or is it
Yeah.
Lupin? Do we know for sure?
I don't think
I'm
Lupin's in
guessing
that
that-
picture unless he's sort of in the background
In
there.
the back.
Yeah. I assumed it was James, but people were telling me that it can't be because he doesn't have black hair.
He looks like he has glasses on, though, doesn't
yeah,
he?
I don't know who else it would be. He looks like he has glasses.
Who, Wormtail?
Yeah, there are glasses on there. I'm zooming in like really far, but they're not really standing out.
I don't know. I'm more concerned about young Snape. I was sort of.
I'm not worried about young
Yeah.
Snape.
One of Gary or Alan Rickman's offspring to take the part. That's what they needed to do. You want to
Yeah.
do some good casting? Take their kids.
I agree.
Not just take
Although,
their kids, cast their kids.
Although,
Who cares if they're 4 years old? Take
but
them.
by that logic, Andrew, you'd have to take Daniel Radcliffe's dad and shrink him down to when he was younger, or just have Daniel Radcliffe
Or just take
play
Dan
the part
Radcliffe.
as well.
Exactly.
With brown eyes, right?
With brown eyes, yeah.
And no
Exactly.
scar.
Perfect. And no scar, and no glasses, and actually, no, sorry, I didn't mean that. Oh my god.
Is there a
And
horse
just, like,
involved?
a lot
Is there a
messy
horse
hair.
involved?
Any Lego fans here?
I'm a Lego fan.
Do we have a picture of that?
Are you? Eric, are you? I picture you as... Yes, Eric, but I picture you as a Lego fan.
You're actually right. I was a really, really large Lego fan. Yes, I invented Star Wars Legos before they came out with Star Wars Legos.
Of course you did.
I'm dead serious.
I used to be a Lego fan too, and then I grew up. But we found out today that there will only be one set related to Order of the Phoenix, which is a castle. And it's going to come with several different figurines, little Lego people, including Harry, Hermione, Ron, even Luna, Dumbledore, and a few others, Snape. So it's going to be a good set, but they're only releasing one set. Seem a little weird to you, Mike?
What?
Yeah, it
I
does.
guess
I'm
so.
kind of sad, Although, if you take a look at the book, Order of the Phoenix does predominantly take place at Hogwarts, the castle. But I would love to get, the Vale or something like that, or maybe Grimmauld Place. That'd be kind of cool.
Or how about the Atrium?
Yeah, the atrium
yeah.
would be cool. Personally, I think Grimmauld Place would be kind of cool. Grimmauld Place would be cool. Like, imagine, Sirius's mom, like a little button you push, and her just yell, like, obscenities that little children can have. That'd be amazing. It's just like one giant Lego piece. So you have to build her.
Do you know something? There's one thing about Lego that some of the pieces look a bit weird. Like, I was watching a TV show, and they said the Gandalf figure, right? His beard, it looks like he's eating a seal. Okay, I'm going to show you all the photo and then put it into the show notes. Right, Andrew?
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. One second. let me
It
find
kind
the
of
chair.
does.
It actually looks like he's either eating a seal or throwing it up. I can't decide which one.
The Lego sets. You're right. As far as we need like a veil room, or that was what a whole shell of stuff. In the atrium, the pictures we've seen, would be so colorful. In the room of requirement and stuff, it's just so many opportunities. I mean, the reason I didn't like the Harry Potter Lego sets before, I mean, even the Goblet of Fire ones, they were okay, but because they kind of repeat themselves. Like, even this, if you look at this, there are pictures of this new version of Hogwarts Castle, and it's kind of like the same.
It's something special.
It's like the same, pieces, obviously, just more of them and constructed to make this thing. So it's like, I would really like to see some of the other cool sets that they could make, but it seems like they're just kind of repeating themselves with some of these sets. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's
now we do have a little interview with one of the guys who runs MillionairePlayboy.com. He actually got a chance to check out the Lego sets. That's pretty much for news this week. It was kind of slow news week, new pictures, blah, blah, blah. What else? Equus under consideration for Broadway already.
Yeah.
That's a little goofy. And is that going to work out for Dan Radcliffe if he's going to be filming Half-Blood Prince later this year? I don't think he's going to have time for that, so he'd have to be recasted.
I agree.
Especially if he doesn't turn 18, he can't do that scene in the United States. So, at least before his birthday. After his birthday, sure. All right, now so we have a few announcements to remind everyone about. Enlightening 2007 at the University of Pennsylvania in Philly, coming up July 12th to the 15th. It's going to be a good time. Jamie, Ben, Micah, and I will all be there to do a live podcast, and also we're going to do a workshop on podcasting, how to make your own podcast. Jamie, people want to know the secrets of podcasting, and you're going to show them how you come up with your British jokes.
Well, it's quite a tough job, really. Yeah, you need a computer, you need Google. You need
I told the Enlightening people we're going to need a whole day just for that part of
I'd say,
seminar.
Give it a day and a half, Andrew, just to be on the safe side.
All right.
It's pretty complicated.
And then also, we just want to thank everyone for voting for us over at Podcast Alley. I think right now we're number 2 underneath Free Talk Live. For some reason, that podcast actually has listeners. So
what the hell is it about?
It's free talk, I guess. I don't know.
Well, so anyone can come on and just talk about anything.
I guess.
Sounds like
live, and it's free.
But it's probably done tastefully, though.
So if you haven't voted, just go to podcastalley.com and click on us on the right and place your vote. We appreciate that very much because it gives us exposure in the podcasting community, of course. And Jamie, we never really talked about this to you, at least on the show, about giving away pieces of your suitcase.
Oh no.
Still sitting here.
Is it?
Yeah. It's starting to smell. Actually, it smelled when you brought it here. And the dead body, I don't want to get rid of it yet. I don't know what you were planning on doing with it.
Why is it still in your freezer?
Well, I put it back in the suitcase. My mom didn't appreciate it in the freezer. Put all the ice cream. But anyway, all the 3 winners from the 3 Hallows Theory Contest winners, the 3 of them, I'll claim their prizes. So Jamie, one of them wants your the flight ticket thing on there, and 2 of them want parts of the suitcase that have a part of your zipper. Now get this, I haven't told you this yet. I'm taking it into school either tomorrow or sometime next week. I'm going to go in the wood shop, and we're going to cut this sucker up. And it's going to go on YouTube. I've hired Mr. Capella's brother, who's a woodshop teacher, to help me, and it's going to be a big event. I don't know what to do with the remaining pieces. I'm thinking of just handing them out. Yeah, I'm thinking of just handing them out in school randomly, or I don't know. I'm going to do something.
Save it.
With them.
Sell it on
You can have them if you want. You want them?
No, it's okay. Really, I don't know.
As for the dead body,
eat it. Eat that as well.
I will eat that. It smells good. Also, Jamie, we're thinking about doing a little meetup in London.
Yes. It'll be very nice. We're going to be there on March 17th, and we'll probably...
St. Paddy's Day.
Huh?
St. Paddy's Day.
Yes, exactly. St. Paddy's Day. We're probably going to do something sometime in the afternoon, whether it be, as I wrote on the website, an extravagant, exciting, and hunger-curing day in London, I think. Hopefully we can do that and get some food, or if something horribly goes wrong, we'll just do like a meet-up in a park somewhere where surely it will rain because it's England, so we'll have to find somewhere else where surely we'll get chucked out because there'll be quite a few of us. So we'll probably end up on a street corner being bored. So yeah, it sounds awesome.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, definitely. I'd go. Okay, and if you'd like to attend this event, whether it be hunger curing and exciting or boring and and rainy,
street corner,
or boring and street corner-ish, then email mcmeetup@gmail.com, and hopefully if we get enough people emailing, we will sort something out and book that street corner. So get your emails in soon.
So and then we'll probably record a little something with the fans. I don't know, fan interviews or I don't know, something fun that we'll put on the show. So it'll be a fun time, and we look forward to seeing everyone there. We'll probably make the decision by sometime in the middle of this week. So get your RSVP in soon, including how many people you're going to be bringing with you, so we can get a good handle on how many people to expect. And then we'll email everyone, Jamie, I guess, or make a post on MuggleNet, something like that.
Something like that.
Okay, we have a few rebuttals now. Mikey, you want to take the first one?
Sure. The first rebuttal comes from Sarah24 of Houston, Texas. She says, in the latest MuggleCast, someone called in and said she wondered why Voldemort didn't consider fathering a child in order to achieve immortality. I think he never considered this, not only because he's a loner, but because of his own parents. In his eyes, his dad was a useless, gullible muggle, and Merope, despite being of the House of Slytherin, died because she was weak. He is ashamed of where he comes from. Notice that many Death Eaters don't know he's half and half. So why would he see someone from his own bloodline as important? I think a child would be useless to him because it would carry the blood of the parents who disgust him.
That's a very good point.
An interesting take.
That makes sense. Yeah, because he's not pureblood, and if his whole thing is the purebloodness, and you know, he's got the Muggle blood in that he killed Mr. Tom Riddle.
Yeah, so I think he's taken it upon himself to be the best of any of his bloodline. You know, like instead of furthering and seeing his children are better than him, he just basically made it so that he'd be the one, you know, so he didn't really father any children because he hates his bloodline to begin with. So he just wants to be big and bad and
end his family.
And not worry. You know.
Yeah. And also the idea that that he was not reliant on something, but the idea that something would be that close to him, I don't think he could stand. And also it doesn't really continue his immortality, because he doesn't, as you have all just said, consider a bloodline to be immortality. It's just him, regardless of, offspring or ancestors or anything like that.
I like how she called him half and half, like he's some sort of milk or something.
Cream.
Yeah, exactly.
Something you put in your coffee.
Voldemort cream.
Also, it's kind of like, Voldemort's personality. I think he's too much of an egomaniac in the sense that he wants the immortality himself. He wants to live forever. Yeah. He doesn't care about the kids.
Yeah,
he's not a friendly person.
The alternative methods of being immortal just simply don't interest him. And
no, he wants.
I don't know. Would you go to Starbucks and order a Marvelo mocha?
Zing.
That was pretty good. But in the words of Freddie Mercury, I knew he was dead all along, Jamie.
Okay, Andrew, I'm going to put that into the show.
No. And you know what? Hold on.
No, I am. So.
The Queen is. They're touring again. Okay. Like they're getting someone else to tour with them.
Whatever.
So technically, I wasn't all the ones.
Still.
But let me finish my thought.
Okay.
Yeah. In the words of Freddie Mercury, who wants to live forever? Anyway, the next rebuttal comes from Victoria, 25 of Chicago, concerning HP sauce. I don't have any recollection of bringing this up last week, but anyway. Micah, HP sauce is not Harry Potter sauce. This is why. HP sauce is not Harry Potter sauce, as you said in the news. Quoting Jason Isaacs on episode 77. Instead, it's a British condiment, a bit like steak sauce. Steak sauce over here. Thought you might like to know.
Like A1 steak sauce?
Is that true? You ever have HP sauce?
Yeah, it is. Do you know, it actually stands for Houses of Parliament, and I don't know why. I can't remember, but it does. And it's like brown sauce of like spicy sort of fruity type thing.
It worked out well. I mean, I thought he meant sauce, like some sort of gossip or whatever.
Yeah, sauce.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm looking that up, Jamie.
And then
I've had HP sauce last night.
It worked out well, apart from the fact you got it completely wrong.
Yeah.
She goes on to say, also a question, can a squib attend Hogwarts? Do you think an 11-year-old from a wizarding family who has shown no magical abilities would be sent to Hogwarts in the hope that they are a late bloomer? If not, do they have to stay at home and miss the opportunity to make friends, effectively becoming social outcasts? This does not seem fair either way and may explain a lot of Filch's bitterness, so I wondered what you thought. I don't think they can attend Hogwarts. If you can't do magic, you can't do magic.
It's a magic school, yeah. It's like
it's like, what are you going to do in Transfiguration?
Just sit there.
Yeah.
This is from Francisco, age 16 from Chile, subject Filchy. When I was hearing your podcast, I started thinking, couldn't Voldemort make Filch perform magic if he does something for him? Probably getting him into Hogwarts or giving him something that is in Hogwarts. Maybe another Horcrux. Well, anyway, love the show. Bye. Isn't that kind of Forced-esque, selling your soul to the devil and then him giving you something in return?
Yeah, and plus Filch is not an evil person. So
No.
I don't think that Filch would allow it.
And his loyalty is to Dumbledore and Hogwarts, even though he's bitter and moody and twisted.
My question is, how could Voldemort make Filch perform magic?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, that right there, I
give
think
him
is
the ability to, maybe?
Yeah, well, that's what it says. It says Voldemort, couldn't Voldemort make Filch perform magic? Meaning Filch is the one performing magic.
That's interesting.
That's what we were... Yeah,
that right there confuses me.
That's what we were asking last week. What would let a squib do magic? Because we were saying, maybe it's Filch who practices magic later in life. So maybe she's suggesting Voldemort could make that something that we were talking about.
Well, doesn't that bring up the point that how does Quickspell teach you to do magic? Because that implies that being a squib is a temporary, acute, thing that it's like a mental block. It sounds like writer's block. You can't do magic until that block is lifted. But in I can't remember where else it's been suggested that being a squib is you do not inherit your parents'
right. You're just ability, a dub,
which is chronic. Yeah, you're the black sheep of the family.
Probably will never know.
I was just gonna say, but what if it's a trade-off though? Like, what if Voldemort gives him temporary magical ability? And
could you do that? Could you give someone temporary magical ability? I mean,
who knows?
Yeah, well, I know.
Maybe.
I mean, you can bring dead bodies back to but to at least movement. I would think. I think you have to be innately magical. To do it. Like it's in your it's in the blood.
Another rebuttal that was kind of along this line was saying perhaps Harry teaches Filch because he was such a good teacher in Order of the Phoenix. Maybe he teaches him how to do magic in.
I don't think he has time to do that.
No. I've got 10 minutes. I'll teach you a quick spell, but then I'll go and find the other 4 Horcruxes.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're going to move along now to our main discussion this week. Actually, a character discussion. A creature discussion. We're going to talk about Fawkes.
Yes.
It could be a very important creature in Book 7. We've talked about him in the past. Well, what did Fawkes' song at the end of Half-Blood Prince possibly mean?
Cry.
He was singing Bohemian Rhapsody, Andrew.
Yeah. So, Micah, take it away.
Sure. Just a brief overview. The Phoenix is a magical bird about the size of a swan. It has crimson feathers on its body and a golden tail as long as a peacock's. Its claws and beaks are gleaming gold and its eyes are black. These colors also happen to be the color of Gryffindor House, interestingly enough. The scarlet body feathers glow faintly in darkness, while the golden tail feathers are hot to the touch. Phoenix tail feathers are a powerful magical substance, according to Mr. Ollivander, and are suitable for use as wand cores. And that came from the Harry Potter lexicon. So the first question I'll offer up is that when Harry first sees Fawkes in Chamber of Secrets, it happens to be on a burning day. Now, do you guys think that this is a foreshadowing of something to come?
Ooh.
Like what? Bad timing? Bad coincidence?
Well, I think if you look
perhaps?
in the movie, at least, I know you shouldn't base too much on the movies, but it was kind of comedic relief in a way. I mean, it was, your bird, sir, he just died. Harry's accused of committing all these crimes and stuff, and then he goes into Dumbledore's office and his bird just blows up. So I think it was just a matter of that. It's like more. I think that fit with the theme of the book. Harry being accused of something that he's not, but having self-doubt.
Yeah, I think that about covers it.
I mean, yeah. What I was trying to say was that Harry met him in bad timing, so perhaps the foreshadowing at Book 7 could be he would make bad timing.
Doesn't the Phoenix live for hundreds of years? So it's pretty rare to have a burning day. So, like...
It's immortal.
Huh? No, but I mean, it lives until it is reborn.
Oh, yeah, so is it rare?
It isn't like 2 days, and then it... That would suck.
Well, didn't Dumbledore say it's a certain period, isn't it?
But isn't it like a long time?
That's
it's
true.
not like
I don't think
so.
I
wouldn't think it would be every 2 days.
He doesn't burst into flame every 2 days, does he?
That's a lot of rebirthing that is happening.
And he has to grow as well, because he turns it into a tiny baby. So.
Well, it only takes a couple of days.
Oh.
Huh.
That's what it said.
So
for him to regrow.
Oh, that's probably what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, also,
but maybe you're
also
right.
I think might be taking a little too much into it, because really now we know that Fawkes can be. Well, no, because this also sets up that the Phoenix, is reborn from the ashes too, which we see Fawkes do lots of things where he. Gives his life up for Dumbledore by taking the Avada Kedavra curse, but we know Fawkes is okay. You know what I mean? I think it just sets us up to know that Fawkes is kind of this super bird. You know what I mean? Right. I don't think it's.
And it was an introduction to.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything major specific to the point of foreshadowing, because he first met him on a burning day. I think it's kind of sets up that we know, it's okay, because Harry kind of freaks out. Harry, again, like even in the movie, Harry kind of freaks out. Your bird, it just burst into flames. He didn't do anything. He freaks out, but it's the same thing, it's like the bird burst into flames, you're kind of worried at first, but then you find out, he's going to be okay. And every time you see that again, he's going to be okay, because he's reborn. So I think it's more that
plot method, plot device. Yeah, plot device rather for.
Definitely.
It was a good way to meet him for both Harry and us.
Yeah, it's the opportunity to really.
He's a kind of. Sorry.
No, go on.
He's a kind of MacGuffin, isn't he? Something that is there to save the day and can be brought in to save the day. Kind of like God from the Machine, Deus Ex. When I pronounced that completely wrong, I'm sure. When there's something that can come in and make everything right, like in Order of the Phoenix, when he comes and swallows Dumbledore's thing. It's like one thing that can save the day, kind of. Yeah. He's clearly ridiculously powerful. I'd like a Phoenix.
Well, let's talk about the encounters that we've had with Fawkes. I guess there's been 5 here that Micah brought up to us. First one, he saves Harry from when he was bitten by the basilisk in Chamber of Secrets, and he also pokes out the basilisk's eyes and delivers the sorting hat and Gryffindor's sword. Another time. Now this is a quote, Micah. You have shown me this is what Dumbledore says to Harry in Chamber of Secrets after what happened down in the chamber. You must have shown me real loyalty down in the chamber. Nothing but that could have called Fawkes to you. Foreshadowing, Micah, with calling Fawkes.
Well, yeah, I think maybe more so than the first thing that we took a look at on the burning day. Could this be in Chamber of Secrets, Dumbledore talking to Harry saying, you must have shown me real loyalty down there. Could that be foreshadowing to something? Could he show loyalty in some way to Dumbledore in Book 7 that may call Fawkes back to his side?
Definitely.
Yeah,
I think that's true. More. I think that's definitely more, because throughout a Half-Blood Prince, he's Dumbledore's man through and through against Scrimgeour.
Yeah.
So I think that is a little bit more.
Fawkes might become Harry's bird. Maybe Hedwig and Fawkes will get together,
make babies.
Make little owl phoenixes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Phoenixes,
no, but
they'll be pink, and red and white, pink,
and half of them will burst into flame and be reborn the next day.
No, but Fawkes.
Pink birds everywhere.
Fawkes will be. Fawkes is alone. He doesn't really have an owner, and I think what's being foreshadowed in Book 2, especially, is the loyalty. Like Fawkes is Dumbledore's Phoenix. Dumbledore was always compared to being a Phoenix and having those kinds of qualities. But Fawkes is Dumbledore's Phoenix, and that's how you call Fawkes, is you show loyalty to Dumbledore. So Harry will, I think, easily be able to, well, they hitched a ride on his tail feather to get out of the chamber to begin with. Fawkes has helped Harry plenty of times.
Yeah. And, which we're going to talk about in a second, but really, Harry's going to be loyal to Dumbledore throughout all of Book 7, trying to get those Horcruxes.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what Dumbledore wants him to do. So, really, that almost makes Fawkes Harry's the entire book.
He's not doing it because Dumbledore wants him to,
right?
Isn't it? And I don't think.
No,
but I don't think
that's
it's just
part
a case
of his inspiration. I think.
Oh yeah, but I don't think it's
and
just a case of you showing loyalty. You can't just speak out and say that Dumbledore's awesome. I think it has to be a certain thing. It's got to be from within you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, think about the chamber when Harry says to Tom Riddle, you know, Dumbledore will never be gone as long as people here are loyal to him. I think that's what called Fawkes.
But it's like, I'm sure he had to mean that. He couldn't just say it to sort of like save himself, you know.
Right. We don't have any background on how Dumbledore domesticated Fawkes, do we? Because I'm looking through the Fantastical Beasts one, and it says they give it a high rating simply because the creature is not necessarily ferocious, but it's the rarity of successfully attempting to domesticate it.
But isn't that just one more?
We're going to get to that.
Oh, sorry. So I was going to say, isn't that just one more thing? No, it's okay.
No, sorry.
Isn't that just one more thing which sort of shows Dumbledore's powers?
Yeah.
You know, it's that, and sort of like, and in Order of the Phoenix, when Hagrid points out that he lit that fire. I don't know how to pronounce it. Gebruthian fire or something like that, and only Dumbledore could do that and stuff like that. So it's just one more testament to Dumbledore's power. But also, it's the only Phoenix that we see, and obviously there are other creatures in that book that we don't see as well, but it's clearly a powerful creature.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that, not jumping too far ahead, was that Phoenixes choose their owners, not the other way around, so...
Now that's quite interesting.
Obviously, why did he choose Dumbledore?
I like his beard.
That's interesting, too. The wand chooses the wizard, and the Phoenix chooses its owner, so... I don't know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Harry's wand has a phoenix feather in it.
Yeah. Fawkes, in fact.
We'll talk more about how Dumbledore got Fawkes later, but another encounter was in Goblet of Fire when Harry claims he hears the Phoenix song in a graveyard and it empowers him. And the Phoenix song strengthens the pure of heart and strikes fear in the heart of evil. Maybe not so much for Fawkes. Now, wait a second. Where did that come from, Micah? Was that something that was in the books?
Yeah.
You sure it's the heart of evil? Because, like, you can be pure of heart and be morally
purely
vapid,
evil. Is that what you're going to say?
No, it's not. I mean, like, you don't have to be evil to be. I don't know how to say this, but you don't have to be good to be pure of heart, because good's subjective concept. So you could be. I don't know. Maybe I could actually be completely wrong.
I think I know what you're saying.
Actually,
I think the context is that it's supposed to be good.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I think you're right.
And then also in Goblet of Fire, when Harry encountered a spider bite, Fawkes healed it with one of his tears. And then the fifth encounter with Fawkes is when he absorbs the killing curse in Order of the Phoenix. Now, if he has already shown that he's willing and capable to heal and protect Dumbledore, why didn't he show up on the tower in Half-Blood Prince?
Because Dumbledore told him not to.
Really?
Yeah, Snape's
it makes perfect sense.
And Dumbledore wanted him to die, so he said, "Fawkes, don't show up and save my ass. I need to die.
Don't save me this time, Fawkes."
Radio Fawkes.
Yeah. Mayday.
Fawkes, this is Dumby. Dumby 1. I'm gonna take a hit right now. Just don't worry. You got my back.
Red Bird
and 4 Dumby 1. 10 4 Dumby 1. Over and out, Dumby 1. Have a good life.
Over and out. Forever.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, let's stay focused. Come on.
Okay,
we're a serious podcast. We don't mess around.
We do.
Story of our lives.
Serious.
Sure. We mentioned Dumbledore's quote before, saying, "Will only truly have left this school when none here are loyal to me." And, still going along the foreshadowing lines, do you think maybe this means that Harry will return to Hogwarts in Book 7 in Deathly Hallows? And you guys think that Fawkes may be connected to this statement?
Possibly.
I think that wherever Harry's going to be, Fawkes is going to be.
Yeah.
And...
Or perhaps Fawkes has got to stay behind to look after the school.
Yeah, but what does Fawkes do that specifically looks after the school? I think Fawkes...
He needs someone else to... He's like, Harry... He's an assistant. Fawkes is an assistant.
Well, I don't think he assists.
Yeah, he takes Harry's memos and phone calls and stuff.
Well, not an office assistant, more like a
partner
evil
in crime.
assistant.
Partner in crime.
Yeah, partner in crime.
Secretary.
No, I don't think Fawkes is necessary to run the school. It's not like he's going to sit at McGonagall's side and help the school. I think Fawkes was there ever since the beginning on Dumbledore's behalf, really. He doesn't really help, or he's not needed in running the school because he's always been the other part of Dumbledore's job, which is protecting the world from Voldemort and finding out everything he can about Voldemort and, protecting Harry and all that stuff. The Order of the Phoenix, Fawkes' job is not anything to do with the school or the running of the school. He's not necessary. The only reason he was in...
Yeah, but...
He was with Dumbledore.
But in Order of the Phoenix, isn't Phoenix just a sort of metaphor for Dumbledore, because it's Order of Dumbledore, really, because he commands, what people do and stuff.
Well, does he?
It's really Dumbledore's army.
I don't think he commands it necessarily. I mean,
no, but he tells people what to do without them.
Yeah.
And without him, now they're leaderless, as it were, and they have to get a new person to do it. Because he knows I don't want to, but he didn't know what to do. He just knew what to do, and everyone else just was sheep in the grand scheme of things, following his command. And now there's going to be
pawns.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the reason I chose this quote for Fawkes was just because of that loyalty connection that seems to exist there in both the quotes that Dumbledore has. He's bringing up the loyalty, and maybe Harry doesn't have to go to Hogwarts to remain loyal to Dumbledore or to the school. He can sort of be by extension in a way.
Well, I think Harry will eventually go to Hogwarts sometime. We will see Hogwarts in book 7. He's got to. We spent 6 books there. The story is supposed to be Harry's time at Hogwarts. If book 7 has no Hogwarts in it, why is this the last one?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's he's going to go to Hogwarts now, regardless whether Fawkes shows up when he's at Hogwarts or somewhere else. Definitely, I think Fawkes will show up somewhere and in connection to Harry, but not necessarily Hogwarts. But Hogwarts will be seen. I can almost guarantee it.
And did you catch what JKR said? I'm sorry, on the red carpet or whatever it was, to somebody asked if Dumbledore, isn't he dead? And she said, yeah, but he's giving me a lot of problems, and he's not that simple. Like, there's still a lot to come with Dumbledore.
Were you here last week?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, did we? Yeah. I was.
Dan Radcliffe? It had nothing to do with a red carpet.
But it wasn't on.
That was a Dan Radcliffe.
She went on the set.
Sorry, when I read
thinking of Equus, man.
No. What I was saying was, there's a lot more to come with Dumbledore himself, not to mention Aberforth Dumbledore, so we'll be sure to see Fawkes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you guys think about his cry at the end of Half-Blood Prince? Do you think it was a message, a warning, maybe even a rally cry?
I think his cry was just to mourn Dumbledore. I don't think there's anything
else. It's the Phoenix Lament. It's just sadness overall, because whether or not it was planned or anything, you've lost this great wizard, and and
he lost
the
his
whole
owner.
school had to know.
Do you think there's a further connection, though? I mean, if he's going around singing, is he perhaps sending any type of message for people to band together?
Yeah, isn't that?
I kind of got that it was like a magical significance. Like it wasn't necessarily Fawkes putting protection, but when I was reading about Fawkes going around crying, it felt kind of ceremonious in a way, but also like maybe the Phoenix, make those who are pure of heart and everything, feel stronger. So I think it had like some kind of magical effect like that.
Wasn't it closure as well? It was just a cry of because he had to really. It's a nice and I'm sure there's another story, a famous story where there's been a low wailing cry at death. It's that kind of thing. It's just, and it's also a funeral, which is what people do there. So, and it was just a nice touch, I think, because some things in these books. I know that everyone says, there's no such thing as a coincidence. And there's no such thing as a coincidence. But we can't forget that she's writing to entertain as well, and she's writing for herself, and some things just make sense, and that just looks like one of those things. Saying that, it'll probably turn out to be a huge plot clue, and
pretty soon you'll owe the world another 50 sausages, and
you're gonna eat.
I'll be on 10,000 by the end of book 7. So.
Yeah. I think it was just for the imagery. I mean, everyone is hearing this cry throughout the entire school and on the grounds, so it sort of brings everyone together because they're all hearing.
Yeah, it's a unification song,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, this goes back to what Eric was trying to talk about before in a Raincoast book interview. Somebody asked, "Could Harry have a pet dragon?" And Joe responded by saying, "You can't domesticate a dragon. Whatever Hagrid thinks, that's simply impossible. So no, he's got more sense. He might get a different pet at some point, but I'm saying no more at this moment."
Now, when was this?
That was a long time ago, wasn't it? The Raincoast one was a long time ago.
March 2001.
March 2001.
There you go.
Wow. So this was pre book 4.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, no, after book 4, right.
But it's
pre-book 5.
There's much more coming about dragons, I guess,
Well, maybe it could be Buckbeak,
No. My point was Fawkes.
Wait, sorry, what? Wasn't she talking about domesticating a dragon?
No. What she's trying to say is that he's getting a different pet. That's the most
important
point.
Yeah, but he gets Buckbeak, though, or Witherwings, so it might not be Fawkes.
That's true. But it just seems right that,
I want Harry to have a phoenix.
Yeah, Dumbledore's bird.
It's
No, I agree.
Seems right.
Yeah,
it would be. I want Harry to have Fawkes. I want Harry to have a phoenix, even if it's not Fawkes, another one, maybe like a little Fox offspring. But
Fawkes Jr.
But who knows? Who knows? I am not going to pretend. We'll call it Foxy.
No,
Foxy.
Yeah.
He better not.
Fawkes Jr.
Foxy lady.
FJ, come save me!
I act like I know, but I'm positive that Dumbledore must have told Fawkes to be Harry's assistant, to help him when need be, to be there at his side.
He told the exact same thing to Harry. I mean, the opposite. He told Harry not to trust anybody but Ron and Hermione, and Harry didn't even trust McGonagall with the information on the Horcruxes and stuff. So, Dumbledore is pretty much setting up this closed group society, which I think includes Fawkes, which will consist of the people who take down Voldemort.
Yeah, I think the order's there just to provide back up and take everyone else down, but it's going to come down to Harry mano-a-mano with the bald man himself, and
guys, wouldn't it be crazy
if Fawkes there?
If Harry led the order?
That would be cool.
It's now.
It's not going to happen though.
Do you think it's really?
Well, he's on. You can't, however much you can't sort of jump from what his task is to his powerfulness and how good he is. It's like he's still a 16-year-old. Actually, wait, how old is
17?
he now? Yeah, sorry.
He'll be 17.
He's still an almost 17-year-old, almost unqualified wizard with not as great magical powers. I'm sure if he and Lupin duelled now, Lupin would won. If he and Snape duelled, as shown in Half-Blood Prince, he wouldn't even stand a chance. Just because has a great task, it doesn't mean that he's gonna lead it. Like in Lord of the Rings, just because Frodo had the immense task, he still listened to Gandalf, and he didn't lead anything really.
Yeah, well, our Gandalf is dead. I mean, it's just a matter. I mean, we were saying would the Ministry, interfere with Harry's plan to find the Horcrux and get rid of Voldemort?
The Ministry is always going to try to interfere. Yeah. I hate the Ministry.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying we talked about that before.
I hate the Ministry.
What I'm saying now is
decadent and corrupt.
Who's going to run the Order, and how is? The Order is backing Harry. The Order was created for Dumbledore. Dumbledore's purpose of getting rid of Voldemort. Now
Harry can't run
Harry
it.
To do that.
He can't run it.
He wants to do this on his own too, and he's not going to want to manage the Order.
Well, he shouldn't want to do things on his own. He's got the whole Order.
It's going to be like Shacklebolt or Arthur Weasley, someone that we all know, we trust, and that has the commanding kind. May not be obvious. It might not be an obvious candidate, but it's someone that everyone trusts and everyone listens to. So
hey, wait,
exactly.
I think it should be Mr. Weasley, Mikey, because wasn't there old speculation that Mr. Weasley would be the new Minister of Magic, and she said no but type thing?
I don't remember.
I do remember her being asked that question.
She always says no but.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Weasley comes up and does something majorly significant for everyone.
I agree.
Because he's been there through all the books. He's helped Harry out. He's basically Harry's like a son to him. His other son Ron is so deep in this. It's he's going to do something that and plus Dumbledore always trusted Arthur to take care of Harry in between stuff. You know what I mean? So I think Arthur or someone we know obviously from the Order is going to be there. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, will Harry consult, or not consult them, but will Harry, they have to be let into the last battle. I mean, they are Aurors. They are people who get rid of people like Bellatrix Lestrange and stuff. I agree that Neville should have Bellatrix, but the fact is they're all adults, and there's all these good adults who are in the Order who want to help Harry and who are going to be on his side. Lupin is going to fight Harry's last battle.
They will be.
Of course they will, yeah.
Harry's confided in Arthur in, Half-Blood Prince, when he said, this is what happened when we followed Draco. Can you take a look at it? And he, I think Arthur Weasley is one of those parents that are he's okay, I read, he raised Fred and George. He knows they're going to get in trouble.
Exactly.
It's someone that Harry can relate to as an adult. You know what I mean?
But, Eric, I don't think it's going to be Two Towers type thing and film Two Towers where, Harry walks over the hill with like a look in his eyes, and then all of the Order of the Phoenix comes up behind him, and they're all standing together. It's like it's like a proxy battle for them. They aren't in on Harry's task. It's his to kill Voldemort and theirs to clear his way.
And just to clarify, Eric, I just checked, and Joe actually answered that question on her official site, and she just answered, alas, no. Will Arthur Weasley be the new minister?
Well, I know, and I wasn't saying he was. I'm saying people were guessing that he would be a power position.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying she said no, but, and that's going to.
Well, alas, no is exactly like a no, but she just doesn't.
Well, no, but usually ends with, no, but.
What I'm saying is she didn't rule out that he would gain power. She just ruled out that he wouldn't be Minister of Magic.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's, all right,
let's move on.
Yes, let's.
So, I think we're all pretty much in agreement based on the fact that Phoenixes choose their owners that probably Fawkes would choose Harry and Deathly Hallows if it came down to it.
Well, wouldn't he choose Voldemort? I mean, no. Sorry.
Yes, he's going to,
He's going to choose Voldemort, because...
he will. He likes power.
That's an interesting question.
He's a power-hungry Phoenix.
Let's think about that, though. No, because his feather is in Fawkes's feather is in Voldemort's wand. Why did it choose him?
Well, no,
in the
do you know
first
what's going to
place?
happen? He's
oh God, do I want to hear this?
No, you don't. It's going to be awful. It's awful.
Yes,
he's going to be.
Come on, Jamie.
He's going to do two things. He's going to become Voldemort's pet. Then he's going to fly up his butt, and set himself on fire.
Sorry. And he's reborn inside Voldemort. Inside his stomach.
Away,
oh man,
he's gonna pop out. He's gonna pop out of his stomach just like an alien and be like. Ah!
But seriously though, why do you think? Why would a wand with his feather, Jamie? That was a great joke. By the way. Why do you think they would choose Voldemort? I mean, he chose Harry. We can probably see good reason for that. But
he
why
didn't
Voldemort?
choose him. It's the wand. It's like. I don't think it's the bird that chooses him, it's the wand altogether, the combination of the wood and the inches.
Yeah, the fact remains that part of Fawkes is still in Voldemort's wand, and part of the Fawkes was part of a wand that chose Voldemort.
Perhaps it chose him. Perhaps it, picks it on power. If you were a wand, you'd want the most powerful person to pick you, so you have a fun time. You don't want somebody who just, so... Perhaps it's picked the two people, the two most, not magically powerful, but the two most sort of not ambitious. I can't think of the word. The two most what's the word when you think someone will go far? It's the two most
well, potential, have high potential.
Yes, yeah, exactly. The two people with the most potential, perhaps.
Well. Dumbledore is always saying it's the choices that you make. Kind of like, when Harry questioned whether he should have been in Slytherin instead of Gryffindor. And I think at the time that the wand chose Tom Riddle, as a boy, even though he had made some bad choices, he was consciously already using magic for his own benefit. He could have changed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
It's his choices. So I think the fact that wand chose him, it's, possibly maybe because Fawkes and Dumbledore were so close together, maybe it was a hope that this wand would help, Tom Riddle become a better person. Sure enough, his choices led him down the wrong path. Same thing with, Harry, maybe Harry, if Harry had his family the whole time, maybe that wand wouldn't have chosen him. Because, that whole thing the prophecy wouldn't have happened with him. But because the way Harry grew up, and it's, again, his choices that kind of chose him, that wand was there to kind of bring balance. And I'm not taking from anything on this, but it could bring balance between the two.
No, Mikey,
going off of that.
Was this
you aren't taking it from anything, are you? At all?
By chance? Is this the prophecy? Is Harry the chosen one? Like in what is that? Star Wars?
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up. I was balance between the forces of good and evil. Yeah.
But when these two wands meet, do you guys think that we'll finally learn what it means that the biggest connection between Harry and Voldemort is in fact Fawkes?
Yeah. Doesn't it just show that they can't battle using magic, so Harry has to find a different way to...
Oh my god! It's another Pokemon reference! Voldemort's got Nagini, Harry's got Fawkes, you duel them together, whoever wins, that's it!
Fawkes!
I choose you, Fawkes!
Dun, 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 dun.
Joe,
Fawkes used Speak-a-Bolt.
Is it just a feature of... Yeah, use a body, yeah. Is it
Fawkes.
just a feature of... Is it just a feature of anime? But, like, in Pokemon, when sort of, like, Ash's mum would come along and say, and don't forget to change your underwear, Ash would do this funny thing where he'd sort of move and then drop down and then sort of, like...
that's Japanese anime, man. That's how they.
What is that thing called? What is that thing called when they do that? And he
goes
like that.
There used to be a name
it's
for it.
HUNH.
Well, I used to
It's
know.
That's it. Yeah, it's like and then they.
Yeah.
But what is it? I don't know what it is.
It's like
It's just their style. What do you mean?
Oh,
It's like
okay.
embarrassment or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's yeah.
Anyway,
I love
Fawkes,
Pokemon.
you know, if it's true that there, I loved it too for years. No, I love Pokemon too, Jamie.
Well, let's all be honest. We all had Pokemon cards. We all had Pokemon Red
Yeah,
and Blue, and
but you know,
green and
I
teal,
never
and
did.
Color Me Purple.
Of course you did, Mikey. Of course you did, don't lie. You
No,
loved it.
Anyway, no, Fawkes, seeing as Harry and Voldemort all have the same wand and their wands can't duel, I think the fact that Harry might have Fawkes on his side would, like, kind of overrule the
Push
wand
it in
thing.
his favor, yeah.
Or push it in his favor, at least, because if you look at it as how many tail feathers of Fawkes you have, Voldemort has one, and Harry's got
How many
his
power
wand,
points you have?
and- yeah, how many power points? Exactly what level is your Fawkes? compared
What
to
level is
me?
your wand at?
What level is your...
I keep mine in a gold ball.
in a master ball?
Well, I think it's going to be not necessarily Fawkes and Nagini that go battle it out. I think it's going to be the power of the Dark Lord knows not, guys. You know, it's going to be love. It's going to be love. We know that. It's Harry's love.
Speaking of quotes,
This is what Dumbledore sends as his protection: a mangy old hat and a stupid bird.
I don't know, guys. I continue to maintain all my Pokemon theories, and I still think it all comes down to Pokemon. All these Lord of the Rings connections, all the Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. Oh!
Not to mention Lord of the Rings is like 60 years old and Pokemon came out in 96.
Exactly.
No, send in your Pokemon Harry Potter connections. There are just too many to ignore, and we'll read some of them off next week. What has this show become? I thought for sure we would make it longer than 78 episodes. Now we're deduced to Pokemon. Alright, but to wrap it up today...
we gotta finish this. Let me run through this quote, because it's important.
Alright, good. Let's wrap this up.
Oh god, this guy's name is going to get me in trouble. Peter Humphreys from the BBC News Round. He asked the question of J.K. Rowling, who did Fawkes previously belong to, and will he play a vital role in the next book? She responded by saying, I'm not going to answer about the role in the next book, which probably gives you a big clue. And he has never been owned by anyone but Dumbledore. So I think a lot of people have always suggested, hey, he belonged to Godric Gryffindor. This kind of puts all theories
Aside.
down.
It doesn't mean Fawkes wasn't alive before Dumbledore came around, but it just meant that maybe Dumbledore would have had to been the one then to domesticate him. And that is, Jamie's right, a testament towards his power.
But do you know what's going to happen in Book 7? Fawkes is going to get owned by Harry, but Voldemort's going to get owned by Fawkes and Harry. In fact, zing.
So what is the deal? Why is Dumbledore tied so closely to a bird that is symbolic of rebirth? I think Dumbledore sort of represents rebirth.
Yeah, because he's always there.
Dumbledore's always there. He'll still be here.
He's omnipresent. He knows everything.
Omnipresent, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps up today's character discussion.
Oh wait, can I just say one last thing? I was going to say that we haven't talked about the etymology of his name, which I'd say, I don't want to say clearly is from, but it's probably from Guy Fawkes, who was the person who, among with other conspirators, tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament quite a long time ago.
November 5th.
Yes. Which I guess has the fire connection, but, you know, he was captured and tortured and hung, drawn and quartered. So, which incidentally is a very, very horrible British way of killing people, which they reserved solely for people who had committed treason.
Alright, well that concludes today's character discussion on Fawkes. If you disagree with anything we said here on the show, which
don't
can't
write
imagine
in.
What? Yeah, don't write in.
Because
Actually,
we're
stop
right.
listening. Yeah. No, email
Just write
MuggleCast. Yeah, email MuggleCast@staff.mugglenet.com and let us know what you think, and we'll read some of your emails next week on the show. Right now, we're going to go to an interview that I conducted earlier this week with Joe Fulton of MillionairePlayboy.com. Here it is. All right, we are now joined by Joe Fulton of MillionairePlayboy.com. Hey, Joe.
Hi, Andrew. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, thanks. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, no problem.
Now, last time you were on, you and I talked about the latest Harry Potter Legos, right?
Yeah, and we also did the Lego Potter Lego contest where we had all your listeners build Lego sets based on Book 6.
So just last week, you were at the American National Toy Fair to cover the latest toys being made available by Lego and a few other companies for MillionairePlayboy.com. Is that right?
Yeah, Toy Fair is actually something that happens every February in New York City. All the toy companies, they're showcase all the products that they are intending on to release this year. So, of course, the biggest toy companies, have the big lines, for instance, for the Harry Potters. So, Lego, companies like Lego, NECA, and Cards Inc., which is distributing toys through Corgi, showcased all their new Harry Potter products.
Now, can you tell us about some of the things that you saw?
Well, again, obviously Lego is my favorite toy company. So far, they've only released this one new product related to Order of the Phoenix, and that is set 5378, which is another Hogwarts castle. It's 943 pieces, and it comes in 3 different parts. The first part is basically just a section of the Hogwarts castle that has Umbridge's office and Professor Snape's potions room. But it also comes it separates into the greenhouse and the room of requirement. And it also includes 9 minifigures, which is a lot of figures to be included in just one set. Cool. We get Harry Potter, we get Ron, we get Hermione, the basic ones, but also we get Dumbledore, Hagrid, Draco, and Severus Snape, and then 2 new ones, which is Thestral and Dolores Umbridge.
Oh, very cool. Now, you said that this is a 943-piece set. I'm not the biggest Lego expert, but that seems pretty big to me. Is this one of the biggest sets that they've released for the Harry Potter series, at least?
For the Harry Potters, yes. Actually, the biggest set they've just actually released was this year. If you go to our Toy Fair coverage on MillionairePlayboy.com, you'll actually see pictures of the largest Lego set, which is for Star Wars. They released a 5,190-some piece Lego set that's going to actually retail for about $500.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Do you know any other details about this set, like what it might price for, or when exactly it's going to go on sale?
You're probably going to see it about August is my best guess for when you'll probably see this, and it's going to probably retail about $90.
Okay. Wow, so this is pretty big.
It's a big set for for Harry Potter sets, yes.
Okay, cool. So what else do you got for us?
Well, the biggest news is NECA. The Harry Potter action figures have been pretty crappy over the years. There have never been really any good ones. Mattel has had the license for the past 3 films. Last year, they didn't produce anything for Goblet of Fire. This year, the license now was given to NECA to produce Harry Potter action figures, and they are now just starting to release the figures that will be going for the Order of Phoenix set. If you've seen a few months ago, they released images of 7-inch figures that they're releasing for the Goblet of Fire. Those ones should probably be hitting stores next March, and those include Harry Potter, Voldemort, Death Eaters. But the biggest news is the Order of the Phoenix series. So far, they've officially announced that they're doing 2 different waves. The first wave, which you'll probably see around May, is Harry Potter, Hermione, Ron, and Sirius.
I'm looking at these pictures now that you have on MillionairePlayboy.com. They're beautiful pieces. I mean, the detail is incredible.
That is exactly why I am ecstatic about these figures. The details that have been put into these are far superior than any of the previous Harry Potter action figure lines that you have seen. Probably the best 2 sculpts, I believe, are probably Hermione and Sirius. I
was just going to say, I'm looking at the big one of Sirius, and you can see every little less hair on his mustache and around his chin.
Exactly, and it really looks like Gary Oldman, which is obviously priority. The other one reason what I like is Hermione. Only because if you've ever looked at female action figures, they never really quite look right. And I actually think they got Emma Watson down pretty darn well.
I would agree. It does look just like her.
The second series of Order of the Phoenix is probably going to hit stores around July. The 4 figures for that will be Severus Snape, Harry Potter with a new sculpt that they haven't shown yet, a Dumbledore with a sculpt that we haven't seen, and 3 different variations of the Death Eaters. Now, each one of those figures is also going to come with a piece to the requirement room Death Eater Build-A-Figure. And I've yet to see pictures of what that actually will make up, but to build up the Death Eater, you'll have to be able to collect all 4 pieces from all 4 figures.
I see. That's some interesting marketing they're doing there.
It's slowly becoming the newest thing to do, is to include a piece to make you buy, of course, every figure to build a new figure that you can only get if you buy everything.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest thing is going to be a massive box set that's going to be coming out that you're going to be able to have your Harry Potter action figure versus Lord Voldemort in front of the Tom Riddle crypt, which is also going to be cool. And then along with sold separately will also be a deluxe 10-inch Hagrid box set that he will also come with Fang and Norbert. Now, this one's going to be actually to scale to the 7-inch, meaning this is why he will be 10 inches tall.
That's
pretty
awesome.
Pretty big for an action figure.
Yeah. Well, that would not have been any good if he was a 7-inch tall like the rest of them.
Well, yeah, that's the good thing, is they're keeping everything to scale, which is really good.
Yeah.
And then, for all you people who don't collect action figures, they're releasing a ton of different products. Lots of plush toys of the different creatures, Hedwig, Crookshanks, Scabbers. But you can also they're also selling lunch boxes. You can get a sorting hat and a Marauders map pillow.
Very nice. I'm looking at these pictures now. They're really going all out this year. I actually have a question for you about the action figures. What demographic are they aiming for when selling these? Because, I mean, do little kids buy these, and do adult collectors buy them? Is there a mix of teenagers?
I think they're really going for the adult market. NECA action figures typically only are sold through some mostly online stores. I'm not sure if these are ever going to hit, your Toys R Us's or Walmart's, but adult collector fans will probably eat these things up.
Yeah.
NECA is very well known for their sculpts. I think they do a tremendous job with all their other lines that they have. But I think these ones will probably attract more adult collectors than anything else. But that doesn't mean that these aren't kid friendly, because most likely they're going to be for 8 and up. So, but I fully anticipate buying every single one of them.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, personally, these would be nice things for me to just to have here on my desk as a little collector's item.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm bored, maybe do a little wizard dueling.
Displaying is probably the biggest thing for adult toy collectors.
Yeah.
It's not like we actually sit and have the battles of Voldemort versus Harry Potter, although I probably have been known to do that.
I'm gonna admit, I used to do that with the Legos.
Yeah. Now, the figures that really though kids will probably eat up more are going to be the ones that are distributed by from Cards Inc. Now, Cards Inc. It's an interesting thing that there's 2 different action figure lines for Harry Potter, because that usually doesn't happen.
So why is that?
NECA has the license to distribute in America, and Cards Inc. is a European company, and for some reason they've gotten around to be able to having all their figures distributed through Corgi / Master Replicas, which is one company now. So now they've started producing another line of Harry Potter figures, which are 3 3/4 inch figures, which is basically your G.I. Joe, Star Wars action figure size.
Right.
These ones will have a lot more articulation than the NECA ones, just judging by the pictures. And again, I haven't held one yet, but it looks like they'll have probably about 14 different points of articulation of movement.
Okay.
Now, the downfall to these ones are the details. Because they're smaller, the details cannot be as nice as the 7-inch NECA figures.
And is it also because of the movements? They have to scale back a little bit? with the detail? Just
not necessarily. I think it was just a new focus that NECA traditionally does larger 7-inch type size figures, and I think Cards Inc. is more going for the Star Wars market. Star Wars action figures are still the number one action figure that's bought these days. They're a 3/4 inch line, most successful line. Obviously, you're going to try to mimic that. So I think that's sort of what they're going after. And it's interesting, but again, compared to the NECA figures, I'm not as into these ones as I should be, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're comparing the two and you have a choice between one or the other, and I guess you and I are, since as we just said, we're less of a actually playing with the action figures, more of a display. We're display guys. We go for NECA.
Now, the biggest thing is that they've not really released too much information about these. We grabbed some images from Cards Inc.'s website of the 4 figures that they've released images for so far, which is Harry Potter, Dumbledore, Mad-Eye Moody, and a Dementor. But at Toy Fair, we were given a sneak peek at the line. We were taken into... They weren't allowing photography, but they were wanting to show us what is coming out. And I can tell you right now, I have seen figures for Ron, Hermione, Ginny, Hagrid, Luna, and Snape. Very cool. As well as a playset which I believe is supposed to be the Gryffindor common room. So hopefully more of these figures will come about, but it looks like all of them will have some sort of accessory, like action figures do these days.
Okay.
It looks Harry comes with his wand and his Patronus, and Dumbledore comes with a wand, of course, and the podium with the candles.
Okay.
Mad-Eye Moody comes with a broom that he can ride on, and it looks like the Dementor just can fly. It comes with a little stand to make him look like he's hovering.
Oh, okay. Now, how do the other action figures look? Ron, Hermione, Ginny, Hagrid, Luna, and Snape. Do they look like they're the actors who play them?
Oh yeah. So everything's portrayed from the movies.
Okay.
I think by now that is the look and feel that everyone will most recognize.
Right.
When the books first came out, if you remember some of the art and stuff that came out, everything was always based on the drawings and characters that are done in the books. But since the movies have come out, there's more of a face to Harry Potter and Ron and Hermione, so now they have to look like Daniel and they have to look like Emma.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of the way it's always going to be from now on.
Now, what do you think about the timing of these products with the release of the 7th book? Do you think the 7th book might influence sales, or do you think it might hurt them, depending on when these toys come out?
Well, I've always heard that, Harry, for some reason, the one thing that boggles my mind is that the Harry Potter has not had a very successful action figure line to date, which pretty much blows my mind because Harry Potter is as big as Star Wars was in the 70s these days. And a lot of people say to me, I don't think, Harry Potter fans are action figure collectors. I just don't agree with that. I think that we haven't gotten good quality figures yet, and people have recognized that. I think, though, that there is quite a bit of merchandise coming out in the months of May through August.
Okay.
And there's a lot of different things for people to buy. So I think I think people are going to have very empty wallets over the summer. Let's just leave it at that.
It almost seems silly to me that LEGO would be releasing their Hogwarts set in August after the film and book come out. Because if they would release the LEGO set, say, early July, they would get the excitement and the hype from the book and the film together. Whereas in August, it's over a bit. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that. Now, that's what they were telling us at Toy Fair at August. That date can easily be moved up.
Okay.
So, again, we'll have to wait and see. The Goblet of Fire sets actually did not come out until after the movie was released.
Oh, okay.
So, again, there's a marketing plan there. They're planning something, and what that is, I'm not quite sure yet.
All right. So, anything else you want to?
If I can, I'd just like to give a shout out to all the people, all the companies that were sort of sponsored our trip to Toy Fair.
Okay.
If you want to check out any of our sponsors, NowHereLimited.com, Bull Market Toys, Brian Toys, freebento.com, youbuynow.com, superherostuff.com, and Iron Cow Productions.
All right, very cool. And we look forward to hearing more from you about these toys as the releases get closer. And come Lego time, the Lego release, we'll probably do something again?
Yeah, I've already sent an email to Lego, let them know that we're very much interested in sponsoring another Lego contest. Maybe we can get the prize as being Hogwarts Castle.
Yeah.
Which would be a really, really cool prize. So, obviously, as soon as once it gets a little bit closer to the movie, we'll have a real good idea of what we can do. But for all you Lego fans, just start thinking about projects that you could be putting together.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Well, Joe Fulton of MillionairePlayboy.com, thank you once again for joining us.
No problem.
We hope to see you again soon.
All right. Thanks a lot.
And we've got 2 more rebuttals. Our first one comes from Jen, 17, of Canada. Subject, Harry's death. In episode 77, you were discussing that death might not be the worst thing that happens to Harry. If killing tears your soul in several pieces, and if Harry kills Voldemort, will his soul be torn apart, and Harry become a broken person? Could that not be the worst thing that happens to Harry? Love the show, and Eric, don't be discouraged. You aren't hated. Wrong there, Jen. Sorry, Jen. Eric, I love you. Keep up the good work, Jen.
Okay.
I was making a joke. I love you, really. I do.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
But is it killing overall, or is it just when you perform the curse?
I think it might be taking someone's life, but I think, love is what's going to do Voldemort in. And if, you kill someone with love, how can that rip your soul in half, Because it's love.
Yeah, exactly.
The final rebuttal today comes from Dennis P., 26 of New Brunswick, Canada. He writes, after the 7th book is released, should I stay away from MuggleCast until I've completed reading it? I'm assuming that you guys and gals will be talking all about what happens in Harry Potter Book 7 and the show following the release, and I don't want to spoil the ending like I did with Book 6. LOL. Maybe you should answer this on the show so that others don't get their Deathly Hallows spoiled. P.S. You were doing a great job. I listened to other Harry Potter... Oh, can't put that in. Keep it up, Dennis. So, no, what we'll do is we'll let everyone know when we'll be talking about spoiler areas. So, we'll talk about the latest news or something, and then once we get into the book discussion, we'll be like, all right, spoilers here. Maybe we'll tell people what time code to fast forward to so they can completely skip it. We'll work something out.
I think, didn't we do show notes? When we did the show notes, we put a spoiler warning in it for Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah, we did do that. But and in the audio, the first 10 shows, I would be like,
do not listen.
I would be like, this is Muggle... No, I was higher voice back then.
More like,
this is MuggleCast episode 4.
It's a spoiler, everybody!
For July 12th. And yes, there are spoilers. It's their show.
Bad man, Andrew.
Right, you! I choose you!
Please enjoy tonight's main discussion.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll have spoiler warnings. I proposed an idea to a couple of my co-hosts within the past week or so, about what we'll do with the show in that month of July. I don't want to give away any surprises, because I know once we revealed it, every other podcast would be doing the same thing. But we have a good idea for what we're going to do in July pertaining to MuggleCast, because we want to make the shows worth it to you guys. So, of course, we will. Once it gets closer to July, we'll talk about what our plans are. But for now, we'll wrap things up today with a chicken soup from Denise of 15 of California.
Yum! Thanks. Denise.
Now, Jamie, this is actually a chicken soup for Jamie's soul. I figured we read this in spirit of you coming back. So she writes, hey everyone, so basically I was in the car on a Friday night with my parents and was kind of down after another boring day at school. I got so bored that I started singing along with the cheesy love songs on the radio and randomly the acoustic version of what else, but Every Time We Touch came on. Then, when it was over, the radio person said, have you ever had a crush and not seen that person in a while? But when you do, you get weak in the knees. Well, that's how Jamie feels tonight, since he requested this song. The DJ actually said that. What a happy quinky dink. I just wanted to share one of the many ways MuggleCast helps me cope. Thanks for the laugh. Love you all. Yes, even Andrew. Don't know what that means.
Can I say that I was taught when he said person, he meant to say favourite MuggleCast hosts. I haven't been on for a while and I missed you all so badly, and when I came back I got weak at the knees, so
Oh, but
Jamie.
you were sitting down, so I don't understand. How would that?
Yeah, well, no, it was more of
Do
a
you stand up
dull
when you
ache,
podcast?
really. Well, no, it was a dull ache in the knees, really, but that didn't sound right, so I had to.
Or do you podcast on your knees? Yeah. That actually concludes episode 78 of MuggleCast. We want to thank everyone for listening again. We have the contact information for you now. If you want to send us some parcel mail, you can always email MuggleCast, P.O. Box 223, Mound Ridge, Kansas, 67107. Eric, if people want to call us, what numbers can they use?
Well, in the U.S., they dial 1-218-20-MAGIC. In Australia, they use 011-004-007-88-99-35-42. And
You're not
I don't
serious
actually
with
have
that?
the numbers, Andrew. I don't know where to look. I just
I thought. Sorry, I thought you were a good host. Prepped.
No,
and ready
I
to
just
go.
remember
It's
the
not.
US
If
numbers
in the United
because-
Kingdom, you can dial 020-8144-0677. If you're in Australia, you can actually dial 02-8003-5668. You can also Skype the username MuggleCast to leave a voicemail for us, and we'll be back with some voicemail questions next week.
You've missed something out, Andrew. Or if you're in the UK, you can come down to London on March 17th for an amazing, exciting and hunger-curing day and tell us your thoughts then, and we'll make sure they get in the show.
There you go.
Yes.
Who do they email?
The email is mcmeetup@gmail.com. Email soon, and we'll get back to you with all the details. Boom. Coming up.
You can also use the handy feedback form located on MuggleCast.com. You can also contact any one of us with our first name at staff.mugglenet.com. So, and also don't forget, email in your Pokemon comparisons.
Can I also say, if you can explain that thing that Ash does whenever his mum asks him why if he's going to change his underwear, then please email in. So we can put it in the show, because I have no idea.
And also, don't forget our community outlets, people. We got the MySpace with over 6,000 friends. I didn't even know that many people existed. It's nuts. And then there's also the Facebook group. We got a group on YouTube, soon to feature Jamie's suitcase being torn up into pieces in the Shawnee High School wood shop.
Yeah.
Then we also have the Frapper Map and Last.fm fan list and forums. It's all there on MuggleCast.com. So once again, I'm Andrew Sims.
I'm Eric Skull.
I'm Jamie Lawrence.
I'm Micah Tannenbaum.
And I'm Mikey B.
We'll see everyone next week for episode 79. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 That was a
But
Queen
touch
song, right?
my tears with your lips.
Go ahead, tell your stupid
however,
story.
my stupid story is I was chatting to Andrew on AIM the other day, and we were talking about England, and since we're going to London, I said to him, "Do you want to go and see a show?" And I said, "We Will Rock You" is an extremely good show. It's sorry. Actually, I said to him, "Do you like Queen?" And he said, "Yeah, I do." Are they touring again? So I quite rightly said, "No, one of them's dead." To which he didn't really have any response.
See, I'm one of those people who just listens to music. I don't look into it unless your name's you too. So I sort of just now I'm well aware of Freddie Mercury and everything. But they are touring. I'm pretty sure they're touring again.
Hey, they're not, because he's
Without
dead, so
Freddie Mercury.
How can they
No,
tour?
but they were doing maybe it was Guns N' Roses. I don't.
Maybe it was Guns
The
N'
police are
Roses.
touring again, man.
No, it wasn't the Police. I don't know. It was some
Sting's
band
touring?
that someone died and they were getting a new band.
Yeah, no, the police. They're playing for their
Police.
30th anniversary
With
or
or
something
without
like that.
Sting.
World Tour.
Andrew, I hear the
With
Beatles
Sting.
are touring again soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not
all the original Beatles are playing
All
again,
the
Andrew.
original Beatles are touring, yeah.
It's also like the game Duck Hunt for Nintendo. If any of you had it, just shoot it down.
Oh my God, the ducks are
Or
Fawkes.
foxes. I can just see a fan creating that game. You know,
Dude, that'd be awesome.
You shoot the fox,
Fox
it
hunt.
bursts into flames,
Me do that.
and just another one comes back up.
I'm trying to remember the music
Two
from
come
that.
up and you can't win.
I don't know what it was. Yeah, something like that. The doggy would.
That's when Snape comes up and laughs at you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like Digimon. I was never into Pokemon.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's not even
Mikey,
go there.
you traitor, get off now.
Yeah, I used to see that. That was a Pokemon ripoff. That was such a good.
It was.
Dragon
So,
Ball
Andrew,
Z.
is there
Ugh.
There'll be a huge Snorlax blocking the entrance
Yeah.
to Voldemort's
It's
lair
happening,
in
man.
Book
I
7.
can feel it coming.
But do you know what's going to happen? Mewtwo will come along because he's the most powerful out of everyone, and just
Mew
say,
is the equivalent to
"You
Fawkes.
You stupid fools."
Mew is the equivalent to Fawkes.
No, Mew's a lot more powerful.
What's the
Very
big
good.
snake in Pokemon?
Who just?
Come on, anyone can do that.
Arbok.
Arbok. I don't remember him.
Very good.
No, Onyx. Onyx, man.
Onyx.
Oh, no,
that's
that
the
was like a
rock
basilisk.
That's the big
That
rock
was
thing.
It's like basilisk, I guess.
No, it was Gyarados.
Hey, Mike,
All right,
yeah,
new segment
Dude,
on the
that was
show.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was a
crazy
monster.
arse.
But
Sea monster. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. Bum bum, I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. You teach Pokemon to understand the power that's inside.
Poke. I can't even do it. I can't do it, Eric. I'm sorry.
Just do it. Be like WTF, Pokemon. It's you and me.
Yeah, that's as far.
I know it's my destiny. You teach me,
Pokemon,
and
you're my best friend. Although, can I just say, if your best friend is a
Is a yellow little rat,
yeah, exactly,
or whatever it is,
a yellow thing that can't speak,
goes,
who
Pika!
submits, yeah, exactly, who lets electricity out of his body, and you keep him in a ball in your bag, then you've got serious issues. Ash, I hope you're listening, because seriously, I'm talking to you.
Gotta catch 'em all. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you guys gonna sing or not? I put myself.
We found our
No,
next
we're not.
podcast.
We were laughing at you, Eric. I love you, but no.
We know what we're doing after
love you too.
MuggleCast now.
Pokecast.
Yeah. Well, Pokemon's been gone for longer.
Thanks, Andrew. EA Sports, the maker of the Harry Potter video games, has released details on... Oh, not EA Sports. EA. Could you imagine that, though? EA Sports Quidditch 2007. EA Sports. It's in the game.